Magic the Gathering has a serious counterfeit fake card problem. I'm going to teach you a really simple way to protect yourself from them. Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles. Well, the time is upon us. The 7th generation of counterfeit magic cards has arrived on the scene. Yes, we are that deep into it. How good are they? That remains to be seen. Before I get into that, I was mailed out, I have in my possession a package of 7th generation counterfeits. Now, I have not examined these at all. Tonight in a live stream, I'm going to do my preliminary going through it all together. If anybody's there and has any questions to ask, that will also help me with this. And then I will do a proper video letting you guys know what the 7th generation is like. But I was thinking about this because I have here the 6th generation, but I also have an additional card that was sent out to me by a viewer that's not part of the 6th generation. Now, to give you an idea of what we're dealing with here, first of all, the 6th generation of counterfeits is, I was sent out things basically like dual lands and other high-end, like Jace the Mind Sculptor, Damnation, you know what I mean? Like big money cards, doubling seasons, things that are worth money that it makes sense to make counterfeits of, right? Like obviously, if you can make an effective counterfeit dual land, you're looking at hundreds of dollars depending on what the market is currently like. So there's a big incentive to getting these things right, and obviously there's a big incentive to protecting yourself from ending up with these fake cards. There's a couple of reasons that I want to talk about this. One is this fake death pit offering, and this is one that really troubled me, honestly. This one had me sit down and go, whoa, wait, what? I mean, the dual lands and all the big expensive cards, that makes sense to me. I know a guy who bought, I don't know which ones they were. It was Ravnica, like Return to Ravnica Shocklands, okay? And they may have been original printing Shocklands, but they turned out to be fake. Now, this was found out in a tournament. I wasn't there. He was off at another tournament. And he ended up getting because of the way he interacted with the judges, I guess, as well. I'm not exactly sure how it works. But anyways, because of the outcome of all that, he ended up getting banned for a number of years. So his DCI number has a ban on it now. And it never would have come to that if he hadn't been sold. He was sold fake cards by a store. The problem is I don't have 100% of the details as to how he got the cards, so I couldn't really dig into that because that part is worrisome to me, knowing that people are, I mean, did he buy them locally? Anyways, I couldn't get all the details. The underlying point is that having counterfeit cards unknowingly can cause you big problems. And there's an easy way to figure out whether your cards are counterfeit right now. It's really simple, honestly. And one of the big reasons that you need to do this, I mean, at first I thought, okay, it's only really going to be big cards. It's not as big a deal. But this Death Pit offering, guys, this is a garbage card. I don't know if you guys know what Death Pit offering is. So let me hold it up here for the camera here. It's 4 mana for an enchantment. And basically what it does is when it comes into play, you sacrifice all of your creatures. And then all creatures you control have +2/+2. So the idea is all your creatures are going to get a big boost, but you have to sacrifice them all first. It's kind of obviously a garbage card. Now, the guy who got this was clued in to the problem with it by the square corners. Now, because Magic's card quality is so garbage right now, little indicators like that, like the square corners, aren't enough for you to go, oh, well, these aren't real Magic cards now. Because in all honesty, they print cards with, oh, hold on, I need a sip of root beer here. They print cards with square borders all the time. I see them coming up in the misprint groups. But regardless, that helped clue him into the fact that he should take a look. He figured out this is indeed a fake card. So why would they be, like, I had to sit down and ponder this too. Why would they be printing really garbagey cards like this? Like, why would they go to the effort to counterfeit these when they could be printing dual lands or anything? And what it is, in my opinion, is a way to test the legitimacy of these counterfeits, right? You create a bunch of them, and then you just sell them to online stores in like bulk or whatever, or maybe even just specifically off their buy list if they're low value, and you see if the big name stores, you send it in, because that's the thing, guys. This, I don't know which specific retailer it was, but this came from one of the big boys. And when they were contacted about it, they offered the seller a full refund on their entire order. So, I mean, they made it right. But what you have to understand is you can slide things like this into bulk, and then they end up in the main card circulation, which means there's more cards like this. This makes like all of your cards that you're not 100% sure of where they came from, if you bought collections or anything like that, they're now suspect because of this stuff. I mean, when it comes to the little stamps, you're okay. When it comes to foils, they haven't really been able to produce really, really meaningful counterfeit foils yet. So those areas are safe. But regular cards, commons and uncommons that are printed now, and anything old before they had the stamp for the rare, are all up for grabs in terms of easy counterfeiting, okay? And from a glimpse, just looking farther away, they look fine, most of them. The ones that I'm seeing, the 6th generation, were pretty good, okay? They're not flawless. I noticed some really key problems with them, like the expansion symbols were definitely not accurate. I mean, they had the right expansion symbols, but you could tell from thickness and things when comparing them to a regular card, they were what feels like glaring obvious errors to somebody who knows a lot, but normal players wouldn't even notice. Now, the simple thing that you can do to figure out if any card is fake is just shine a light through it. That's literally all you have to do. It doesn't have to be a mega powerful light either. You don't have to go out, you don't have to buy an expensive flashlight, an LED flashlight. You can literally grab anything. You can have your phone, you can take like, let's say you got a tablet or anything that has a light on the back here that they use for like the flash on the camera or anything, you can turn that light on and just shine it straight through the card, right? And basically, what you want to do first of all is get your hands on a couple of cards that you know for certain aren't fake. If you've gone into a shop, you picked up a booster pack, you cracked a couple of cards out of the pack, you can use those. Now, a word of note on the tiny off chance that you're somebody who happened to grab a pack of Ixalan. Don't use the double-faced cards for this purpose because Wizards did screw up and they forgot to leave out the middle layer in the cards. And that's the key here, guys. That's the key part that will let you figure out whether a card is legitimate or not. None of the counterfeiters have been able to imitate the blue core of the Magic cards. That's the big difference. When you shine a light through it, depending on the way that you look at things, it may look like a bunch of little like bluish squiggly lines. And remember, everybody sees color differently. So the easiest way to do this, in my opinion, instead of looking at images online, because I thought about it at first, I was going to put pictures in the video and like put a light behind it and everything, but I think, first of all, I don't know enough about all this technology, any kind of color correcting. It might screw you guys up that way. So in my opinion, the absolute best way to do it is grab some cards you know are legitimate Magic cards. Avoid double-faced cards from Ixalan because they're the only cards in the existence of Magic that can't be used for this purpose. Shine them through, and you will see they have these weird squiggly blue lines. Now, if you want to see, you can check the double-faced cards. If you have any double-faced cards from Ixalan and you shine light through it, you can tell the ones where they missed the core because it will be a solid block of light coming through. There will be no crazy little lines. Now, they may look gray or blue to you, so that's why the key is to just take a light, do the experiment yourself, get a brand new booster pack of cards, look through it. Once you know what you're looking at, it's really easy to tell when something has that or not. There's no confusion between black cores, no cores, all these different kinds. Like, I was like, oh, okay, boom, shine a light through this one, and immediately I'm like, this is 100% fake. So, anybody who tells you things like, do the bend test, anything of that nature, that doesn't make sense. The bend test was literally only used for testing rebacks, and rebacks are so rare now, and the people who are dealing with the cards, the alpha and beta cards on that level where rebacking it is worth it, are experts generally who know how to find those. So you don't need to worry about that, and the bend test is equivalent. It's basically like, all right, you can x-ray somebody to find out if there's a crab person in them. Your phone has an x-ray app where you can just x-ray, there's a crab person inside that guy. Or you've got to pick him up and like bend him over your knee and then see how he bounces back. It's just, don't damage your cards, guys, to find out if they're counterfeit. I know that information is being circulated by less reputable sources. At this juncture in time, the only true test you need to protect yourself from 99.99% of counterfeits that exist is the light test. And since almost everybody has a cell phone that you can use for price checking and stuff, you have that light there as well. All you got to do is turn the flashlight app on your phone, shine it through a card, and all of a sudden, boom, now you're an expert in counterfeit cards of almost every variety, aside from a random corner case like Reback. So, hopefully that was a fairly simple explanation. I'm genuinely curious. We got the rectangle for 6th generation, already been in there. We've got this 7th generation. I'm genuinely curious to see the improvements, see what we're dealing with. I don't know what's in here. I'm saving my initial reactions for the fun of the live stream tonight because that's how I like to do it. So we're going to roll out for that. Come on out tonight. Let me know what you guys think of counterfeits and whether you think there's more necessary than the light method, because honestly, there's no need to add to something that's essentially the only real foolproof method we have left currently. So that ends up the video, aside from the fact that I want to welcome my newest Golden Lord of Purple, Coding Monkey. thank you for coming on board, brother. I know you've been around for a long time. We will see your name in the end scroll. I gotta say, I want to say thanks to all my Golden Lords of Purple, because what you guys do, it makes a big difference to me. Seeing that number of people on there, there's like 38 of you guys now. So when I'm having one of my harder days and it's just like, oh man, and like there's multiple things that used to motivate me. One of the things that used to motivate me, and the main one actually, the easiest one to get me going, is when I think about the people who contact me and they talk about how hard their life is and how what I do gives them a bit of an escape from that for a bit. So it's like, hell yeah! And also, when I look at the number of supporters I have who are like, whatever you're gonna do, man, we love what you're doing, just do it. Here's some cash to help you pay for your P.O. box and your phone stream and all that other stuff, man. So that's really kind of you guys. That's heartening, and it's neat to think that if I put you guys all on a bus, you'd almost fill up a bus. You'd be like, yeah, the Golden Lords of Purple bus load! I love me man loads. All right, boys. See you later.
Kyle here at Stone Monkey Productions. Love you motherfuckers. Brought my woman in for this one. And together,
we are the sixth color of magic.